XRP on 3, 2, 1. Let's go. How's everybody out there doing today? Bringing to you some XRP. XRP is currently sitting at $1.42, just consolidating right here above this support level. She's down 3.20% on the day. Holding up pretty good up here with this low volume. We did have some volume to come in on this last 30-minute candle here. Pushed her way back up, right? She went all the way back up to $1.43. Really needing XRP to hold this support level down to $1.34 to keep us from going down to probably $1.24. And then if we don't hold that, we're going down to $1.12. Coming to you, letting you know that we could just be consolidating across here. XRP could make a attempt back up here to this resistance level to see if she can get back up above $1.55. But right now, she just sitting along here, just consolidating. Bitcoin looking like it's consolidating, trying to find this price that it's at as a local bottom for right now. But you asked the question, are we going lower? Yes, we are going lower. In further down in 2026, we're going to go down much further. Not too awful bad, but you look at the crypto market, you got these prices of these alts still up. And the market's going to pull back to where the market makers is going to pull this crypto market back to try to get people to come back in and invest. They look at XRP here sitting at $1.42. They look at it where it topped out at $3.65. Now, we have seen this in the past 2-3 cycles. XRP hasn't broke the $4 level yet. Could she? Yes, she could. The next cycle up, she could break the $4 cycle. The $4 level. But with that being said, what needs to happen? The market needs to pull back a lot more, and this is going to pull back a lot more. I do believe this is going to be one of the hardest bear markets that the crypto market has experienced in its lifetime. And the simple reason, the fact that market makers know that some of these alts really need to pull back, because when you're going, if you want to invest in XRP, you're looking at where it topped out. It hasn't broke the $4 level. You invest right now, you're going to get about a 3x return. People's looking for more than a 3x return in the crypto market. Now, a 3x return would be good. 3 times $1.41 would be around $4.25, somewhere around that area. And that's where XRP could go to the next cycle up, breaking that $4 resistance level. And to get investors to come in this market like we did in previous cycles, these cryptos, even with Bitcoin, nobody really, unless you're a large institution or whale, wants to buy Bitcoin. But they want retail to come in and start buying Bitcoin. So what has to happen for Bitcoin, for retail investors like you and me to get in on Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin's price has to pull back a lot more. Me, personally, I'm looking for Bitcoin to go back in the 40s. It's sitting currently at 69,275. Looking for Bitcoin to pull back to 40,000 right here, around 43,000. I got this down here. She did come to the levels she dropped below the level I had. I had her from 69,688 down to 65,000. And she went all the way down to 60,000. Well, we coming on down further. We headed to 43,000. Somewhere between 43 and 45 when it's all said and done. Because it has to pull back. We're looking for Bitcoin to run up around 180, maybe somewhere around 180,000 to 200,000 the next bull run cycle. And if she pulls back here to 40 something, that's only a 5x. And retail is not wanting to see, invest in Bitcoin when it only topped at 126,000. That was good. But we're getting back over here on the XRP. I just wanted to cover that on the channel. But we're looking for XRP to pull back somewhere around 70 cents. That's the bottom for XRP. Are we going to go there? Yes, we are. We're going to head to. We are going to 70 cents, maybe lower. But you get down to 70 cents and XRP only tops out the next bull run cycle at $4, $5. That's only eight. Well, you figure about 8x, about a 7x to 8x. That's a good return. These cryptos need to pull back for investors to say, it could break the $4 cycle the next bull run up. So to get investors to come in and retail to come in like you and me and buy XRP, because people's buying up on the ETFs. It's steady inflows coming in on XRP ETFs. But far as the market cap with XRP, it's sitting at a high market cap right now, and it was really at a high market cap at $3.65. And you need a lot of money to come in for this token to do $10 or $15. A lot of money. I mean, you need all the money that's coming into crypto not to be invested in nothing else but XRP to get it to that price. You do, when you talk about supply shock, you really need a supply shock to happen for XRP to go to $10 to $15, and I don't see that happening. People, no matter what we put out there on content to buy, buy and hold, people's gonna sell when it gets to a certain price, and there's no stopping that. You can get on here and talk and preach till your head turns blue and falls off, but people in this crypto market is still going to sell XRP. They've held it for a long time, and I just don't see the supply shock coming to XRP like that's in the content or on X. It could. I mean, basically, I could be totally wrong, and it could come and the price shoot right on up there. But it's human nature, even me, to buy. If I bought at 20 cents or 50 cents, it get to $10, $15. I'm out, y'all. If it would be me, I'm out. If you bought enough, you can retire and just sit back and reinvest in certain other cryptos and live a peaceful life out, But and that's what you got to look at it from, the supply shock standpoint. It would be great. This ain't GameStop, and I think a lot of the crowd is wanting to see XRP go up like GameStop did, but that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. The market makers ain't going to let it happen. the same thing that you've seen happen with that incident will happen again, and you'll be wasting all your time, uh, trying to get something to happen again that ain't gonna happen. So, with that being said, XRP is holding up really good after a pullback to $1.13.12. And those that got in down there has went back up into a profit. Now you're gonna get that chance again to buy at that price, and you're gonna get a chance to buy a lot lower. Because XRP, I'm here to tell you, it's going back. It's going back to 70 cent. It's going back to 70 cent in this bear market. So some saying that the worst is over. Nah, the worst ain't completely over yet. We got two more legs down. Uh, you go back and you look at the previous cycles, Bitcoin. Uh, Bitcoin ain't gonna stop right here at 60,000 and go to no half. It ain't gonna happen, y'all. Um, Bitcoin has to pull back much further, and it did in the previous cycle. It went from 69,000 all the way to if it was going to do a half, it dropped 50%. Wouldn't it stopped at 30,000? Wouldn't it stopped at 30,000? I'm just coming to you with plain common sense. Let's look at the weekly chart on Bitcoin just to get something across to you. Uh, this is the previous cycle right here. Let me blow it up where you can see it. Let me get over here where I might be. Okay, Bitcoin topped out right here at $69,688. Okay, if Bitcoin does a halving, it would have dropped down to 30,000, right? 35,000. It didn't do that. It went all the way to $15,742. Uh, and we looking at it like, and this might be a mistake that I've made. Uh, I'm looking at it as it's pulling back to previous cycle highs. Well, that ain't the true case scenario of this cycle. Uh, you're gonna have to look at the percentage it pulled back. Back here, it went all the way up to 20,000 almost, and it come all the way down to 3,000. If it would have been, listen, if it would have topped out at 20,000, don't you think 10,000 would have been the area it would have stopped? If you're talking about it having Bitcoin splitting itself in half, it wasn't like that. So that was the first. Listen, that was the first initial drop, second initial drop, where it did drop and split its all-time high. All right, now we're waiting on the next two legs down. You get what I'm saying? Look at here. There it is right there. There's a first initial drop. Here's the second initial drop. And what are we doing right now? We're doing a little bounce back up. Then here's another. This is the bad one right here. And then you consolidate, come across here, and you go, and then you bottom. This one was like in two drops right here. Same thing we just had right here. A drop, a push up, another drop. This is the major one right here. Nobody's looking at this. This is the major one. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Bitcoin has split itself right here on this one. And it did the same thing right here. It split itself. But guess what? We're going lower. We're going lower. We're going right there. It dropped all the way down here to that little leg right there. It consolidated. Look, there it is right there at $43,000. You can take it for what you want to take it for. I'm here to tell you, we got two more drops now. We're gonna have a major one right here, and it's gonna pause a second, and it's coming right on down. Well, right now, what we're seeing on Bitcoin is that Bitcoin is just bouncing back. Now uh, we went down to 60, and we could get back up to around 74 before we crash again. But I don't see us going that much further than 74. So you ask, where could XRP go? Uh, and I hate to give you these lengthy videos, but I'm just telling you, we could see XRP get back up to $1.68 to $1.72 before it goes again. I'm just telling you plain truth. We could see something come in the market and pump us up to $1.72 to $1.78, getting us back up here in this range before we see another bad drop. So it's coming. Everybody, if y'all think this is the bottom, you got a rude awakening coming. I'm just coming to tell you straight up and truthful on this XRP. Because retail just ain't going. I mean, you'll have people buying right here at this price or $1.12, but it ain't gonna be nothing like retail buying at 70, 69, 70 cents. Uh, you're gonna have people loading up at 69, 70 cents because they know it's gonna at least go. They're gonna get a 5x return on 5 to 6x return on XRP. They know that. They know it's going to 365, 385. So I just decided I'd come and give you an update on XRP. But we're going to 70 cents. And you hear it here at Captain America Crypto. Because when Bitcoin pulls back, it pulls back really hard. Really, really, really hard. So I wanted to come and share that with you. If you would, subscribe to the channel, and we'll keep bringing you more updates. For now, God bless you. We'll see you on the next one.